I mean, you look at our coalition agreement. It says unless there's been a referendum changing the name of our country, the name is New Zealand.
It's an insult.
That's actually the insidious part, where they pushed and they pushed and they pushed, and eventually had to fall on, well, our government wants it to be called New Zealand. So he made light of it at the start. Oh, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But then by the end of it, he had to say to the reporter, this is New Zealand, and that's what we've agreed to call it, which is, again, disgusting.
A referendum changing the name of our country, the name is New Zealand.
It's an insult, not just to Māori people, but to this country. Here we are trying to celebrate this language, and you've got a minister acting contrary to that.
Others just perplexed.
See, the karakia are all in Māori, or the songs are all in Māori. The wairua was the wairua Māori, and yet can't have Māori on the invitation letters. This makes no sense to me whatsoever.
In terms of sending a message to an Australian minister,
You watched the end.
Well, let's just keep it simple.
The minister
See?
insisting
Walks away
it's
with
no
him.
big deal. Benedict Collins, One News.
Chewy, Mount Vesuvius, you were going to explode again. Feel free, sir.
It's Mr. Goldsmith should pull out his passport and see what's written on it.
He wouldn't get into Australia because they'd go, what country are you from? I don't know this country.
Maybe Mr. Goldsmith should pull one of our many banknotes out of his fucking wallet and have a look what's written on there.
His big, thick wallet.
Like, it's because of their coalition agreement. Oh, fuck off. Like, actually show some spine. You have emailed an invitation to a foreign dignitary to come and have a look at the culture that we have here. It's a holiday you never wanted, celebrating a culture you'd rather not acknowledge. At least grow a spine and make it consistent. Like, maybe we could be the little country that's showing Australia a little bit of leadership of like, this is how you can kind of halfway interact with your Indigenous people. We know that you're not into that, but we've done it.
I
Not
wonder
as well
how
as we
some
could
of
have,
these.
but we did.
I wonder how some of these ministers, who may not be obviously as hardline as some with an act, are going to feel in 10 years from now when they reflect back on this government and what they did to the Indigenous language of this country. Like, honestly, I wonder if they'll look back with pride as to what they achieved by minimizing it, or I wonder if they'll be a bit sheepish when they look back and be a bit embarrassed by it, and then go, maybe any means to an end to get power wasn't the best way to do it. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, he obviously doesn't think it's a big deal. You know, I'm sure when let's say France sends out an invitation to one of their cultural events, I'm sure they make sure that they strip all of that French, all that nasty French that no one understands, out of their emails. I'm sure the Chinese do. They don't want the messy culture getting in the way of nice Queen's English interaction between nations. It's just small-minded. Yep. They'll never know what it means, so take it out. Nobody wants to learn new things. And if that isn't just an indictment on this government at all, that we can't bother people with trying to learn something about Māori,
but
then
look,
I don't know. I can't state it any clearer. It's just weak.
It's not even that, though. Like, to be honest with you, it could, I mean, we know as people who write letters, God, especially to someone who has letters written 1,000 times a day, like a minister of the crown for whatever country, knows the format of letters. They know what those words are that say just before my name and those words at the end just before your name. That basically means hello and goodbye, because they know the form of the letter. And also look what David's written. That's a good one from David. Thank you for your super chat. Would Paul Goldsmith refer to Hawaii as the aloha state or the hello state? Yeah, it's just, I really wonder why. Like, we talked a bit about, would the Greens use the waka jumping? And I was a bit like, do you really want to blow your waka jumping load on this one, or do you want to hold it for something really important? Why would they do it with this little insignificant thing? It feels like you're really trying to make a significant point. Why are you doing it with this little insignificant letter? I don't quite get it. Unless they just thought we can slip it under the radar and no one will ever know.
Hardly the scandal of the century, Pat. Up on my ivory tap. Like, it's just Look, if it was by itself in complete isolation, sure. When you put it with everything else these guys have done, stripping anything about Te Reo out of what they want to do, their constant attacks on Māori and what Māori think is important. And then you get Nicola Willis up there doing lip service that it's a taonga. A taonga is a treasure.
Yeah.
Something to be proud of, not something that you take off an email because the person you're sending it to might need to learn something.
Yeah.
Might need to use, as you said, Pat, his fucking context clues and go, oh, those words that I've never seen before, they might mean hello.
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
This word in front of New Zealand's Aotearoa might be a different name for the country that's emailed me. I mean, I'm a minister. I can't possibly use my fucking brain and work it out. Thank God on high that Goldsmith has saved me from this.